Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tales of Woe. I am your humble storyteller, Tim, and today, less of a story and more of a DM tip, and that is if you're going to base a critical aspect of your campaign around a single character, make sure you have a backup plan, because you don't know whether that character is going to die, although you may have contingencies for that, but also make sure that if that player leaves your campaign due to other issues, like real life coming into it, that it's not going to mess everything up. Case in point, in our most recent campaign that I'm running, the second half of the beginning, or should I call it the end, uh, is based primarily around time travel. And before the campaign was starting, all the characters were building their different, all the players were building their different characters. And one of the characters came to me and he said that he wanted to build a chrono mage. He'd found a homebrew rule set for it, and I had a look through it and I thought it was a pretty cool concept. But it also tied in really well with what I was already doing. And so I came up with a plan where he would actually be like the key catalyst as to what was going on. Like he would actually know what was happening, whereas everyone else didn't. And as the story progressed, he would explain to them as more things were going on. So he basically knew the end game. He was actually aware of the plot way ahead of time. And so we were sort of working the story together. And then probably about 7 or 8 sessions in, he had to leave. And so the way that I'd set up the whole campaign was for them to go on a quest for him to find a series of specific objects, and then that would lead into the primary campaign of them using this device that he'd constructed to complete the overarching storyline, which he was also aware of. But when he left, there was now no longer any reason for the group to finish off his quest line, and so the campaign was sort of in a bit of a shambles. So I came up with an idea where the group would go off to solve a problem within this timeline first in order to make themselves more powerful enough to do the secondary storyline, while I worked out how I was going to get out of this hole that I dug myself into. And essentially all I did, and it was very much a hand wavy thing, because when his character left, one of the Modron's big bad guys rocked up. A creature known as a Marut. This big bad guy. These aren't necessarily Modrons, but they, very much the same sort of thing. They're a construct with the single eye. These are actually the enforcers of the city of Sigil. But I figured since they've got a very similar setup to them, that they could very much be the enforcers for the Modrons. And so one of them rocked up and took him, knocking out everyone else, saying that you must stand judgment for what you've done. So he got plucked out of the campaign that way, so that I could not have the group worrying so much about him, because he was taken by a force that they were unable to stop, but also they needed to become more powerful, thus giving them incentive to go on to the other journey that I had sent them on. And while they were away, and while we're running this whole thing, I'm just scratching my head trying to work out how all this will be going on. And then eventually I just came up with the idea about, well, maybe he could do it on his own. And so when they got back from their big mission, they just find that he's back and he's completed the quest on his own, because he's just that good. And so once they arrive back at home, he explains to them what actually happened, that he's hiding for the Modrons. He's created his own little pocket dimension inside their house in order to keep himself safe, and that he has completed the construction of the device that was going to take them quite a while to actually do while they were away doing other stuff. Because he's a chronomancer, he's able to manipulate time and get it done a lot faster. And that's also the reason why the Modrons were after him, because he keeps on messing with the timeline, and they're tired of that crap. And eventually the Modrons will be coming for the rest of the team because of the same reasons. So yeah, I know it's sort of not really much of a story, not much of a lesson, but like I was saying, it's if you are going to put a character as one of the central focuses of a campaign, make sure you have a backup for if that person dies or if they're no longer going to be around, because I didn't, and I had to work on the fly, and I'm not sure that my solution was the best, but it seems to work. But yeah, so there you have it. So, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. I have been your humble host, Tim, and join me for more Tales of Woe next time. Bye!